just got a little bit of a reprieve from the rain here. I was actually coming up to the cabin today to do a test on some shade tolerant solar panels that I've been talking about forever. Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating. So we're just going to go in and do the business we need to do with the bees here. And I'll narrate a little bit as we go through, but I'm also going to be busy. So just keep that in mind. Come on, I don't want to burn my hand off with this butane torch here. So what we're doing, and hopefully the noise, the audio is going to come through okay, because I don't have my microphone on. Let's get this going here. This is the second of 3 treatments for the bees. And what it is, it's an antibiotic. There we go, some nice smoke there. And it's an antibiotic that's mixed in with some icing sugar. Some nice, delicious icing sugar mix, which the bees will love. They'll just eat that right up. And we do 3 treatments of these over the course of about 15 days. And this prevents something called American foul brood, which is a really, really nasty virus that you can get, that the bees can get. And if you actually get it in your colonies, it's really, really awful. And you actually have to burn the colonies with the bees inside, and you don't ever want to have to come to that. So this is a really important treatment. We do it in the spring and fall, just boosts their immune system and helps them guard against that American foul brood. They're not going to be happy about me going in here today because it's just above zero. And they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it. The smoker was filled from the last time I was in, so the wood shavings and stuff that I got in there is a little bit damp, so it might take a minute to get this going. Hopefully the connection's okay. I'm going to move the camera a little bit, so we're going to see. It might cut out here, but I'll take you over to the 2 colonies that we're treating today. Okay. Oh, look at that. The sun is even peeking out a little bit more. So these colonies are pretty close to the cabin here, just outside, and I like that because I can keep an eye on them. I always love watching my ladies. So I'll give you a shot here of the 2 that we're treating. I'll have a look at the comments in a second if this connection keeps up for us. Not giving me enough smoke there. I'll do my best to bring the camera over just to show you what I'm doing here in a minute. Yeah, they're coming out to say hello, so I think I'm going to glove up. Well, I got a few people watching, a dozen of us. Hey guys, welcome. Again, I'm not going to dawdle here, but just happy to have you along. Maybe you'll see me get my first sting of the year. I hope not. To be honest, well, actually, I'll answer a question that I get a lot: is do you get used to getting bee stings? And the answer would be similar to: would you get used to getting burned by a match? If somebody kept doing that to you, would you get used to that? No, you won't. It hurts every time. But the first sting of the season generally is the worst because you don't have your built-up immune system like that. My smoker is not cooperating. Come on, come on. Okay, well, maybe that's enough. So what they get here is about a scoop and a half of this. Just along the back bars of their, well, the back and the front bars of the hive. Yes, hello girls, I know. We'll be out of here in a minute. That's it, ladies. I know you're not happy to see me on a day like this, but that's okay. Okay, I'll show you what we've done here. So hopefully that's coming through. Have I got the camera on the right side? Yes, I do. So it's just a little bit of ice and sugar mix, and they will eat that up. And we'll be back in about 5 days to give them their next dose. I'm not unwrapping these hives yet because we've still got some cool weather coming up. Oh, geez, they're recording me now. Let's put the camera down and back to business. I've been working with bees for so long. I know the sound of their buzz. They have their normal buzz. They have a warning buzz where they're like, dude, you know, here's your warning. And then they got their stinging buzz where they're like, yeah, no more warnings. We're coming for you. And they're just at their warning buzz right now. Good girls, good girls. Bad smoker, bad smoker. Okay. Let's just check this hive out here now. Let's see if, oh, I got 5 people. I know this is not about solar stuff and necessarily off grid, but really just testing the gear and thought this might be interesting for some people. So this is my internet connection up here. I've got another cell phone with a very weak battery. So I've got it plugged into a little power charger there to keep it going. And oh, Spirited Traveler again. Hi, welcome. Holistic Australia. G'day, mate. What time would it be over there? Geez, wouldn't it be early in the morning right now? Not sure. Let me know what time it is over there. Maybe you're up late, or maybe you're just you're an expat. Oh, question. So what was the powder for? This is for something called American Foul Brood. It's basically, it's an antibiotic that's mixed in with icing sugar. And we use this in the spring and the fall to boost the immune system of the bees. Right at this stage when all the new bees are emerging. And then in the fall, of course, when there might be a little bit of robbing going on in between hives. Just to let you know what's going on in the hives right now. Hives, at the basics, colonies have one queen. And that queen will start laying her eggs. Usually, I mean, it's always weather dependent, but in this area, probably about the end of February or so, and they'll start raising that brood. And right now, like over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see the populations of these colonies just explode with bees, because and the winter bees, they're the only bees that live past 6 weeks. The queen will live for anywhere between 2 and 5 years. It used to be 5 to 10 years. Now, if you get 2 years out of a queen, you're doing well, and that's from climate change, pesticides, environmental issues, right? But regular worker bees will only live for about 6 weeks. The winter bees are the only ones that will live for months, which is really neat. The problem is that about half of that colony will perish during the winter. So it's such a precarious time. We're getting past that precarious window now, but we still have some ups and downs with temperature. And about the worst thing that can happen right now for the bees is if the temperatures drop down to like -10, -20 and start bouncing around, because the bees spread out. They won't leave that brood. They want to protect those young bees that they're raising. And what ends up happening is they perish. They die from exposure. During the winter, they cluster. They will cluster in a probably like a grapefruit sized ball. The queen is in the middle, and they just vibrate their bodies for warmth, and they take turns rotating in and out. Yep, yep, yep. I'm going to get to that next colony, and let's just do this treatment quick. This smoker is driving me nuts. But I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go into this colony without smoke. So give me a sec. I'll be back with my. It was in my pocket the whole time. These bees will hopefully start producing honey in about a month from now. I mean, if not already, but like harvestable honey. Usually mid-May is when we have our first honey flow here. So I don't even have to lift this, excuse me, I don't even have to lift this lid off the whole way. So that alone stresses the bees out. So I just basically just lift it up a crack here. And a little bit along the front. This hive seems a lot quieter than the one that you guys are sitting on top of. Let's give you a little top view here, guys. Hello, ladies. Welcome to spring. Those are my girls. Okay, so why am I calling them ladies? Why am I calling them girls? At this point, they are all ladies. I think it's still a little too early before the queen starts laying drones. Drones are males, everything else is a female. I'll explain more about that in a second. Oh, it feels good to get that done. Okay. And again, once again, hopefully the audio is working okay. I got 8 of us. How much honey do they produce? So it really depends on the colonies. It absolutely depends on the year, the season. There's so many factors. So a single colony in the best of conditions, and you have a superb year, um, it can produce over 200 pounds of honey, like one single colony. And we're talking, you know, we're in Canada here, so that's a very, very short season, right? This is May. Our season ends in September. Um, sorry, it's May. They'll start producing honey in May, and then they've got basically 3 or 4 months, and that's it. The irony is that they're like as soon as they wake up from spring, they're getting ready to prepare for winter. Like that's the reality. Um, Maybe like us, as we start to clean up our yard and get our wood piles ready, we're always thinking ahead. The bees are basically in that mode all of the time. A typical hive though, and that also depends. These are double hives. I'm going to be actually knocking these down to singles, but a single hive, they both produce the same amount of honey usually. Uh, on average, though, for an average year and everything's going well, you should expect about at least 100 pounds per colony. That's not always the case, though, because sometimes you have colonies that you're just building up. These ones we're going to be splitting into new colonies in May, so right around that honey flow. So I'm not expecting to harvest anything in May. From that flow, it'll be later on in the fall where I'm harvesting my honey. So lots of different factors. You would hope that a colony would at least produce a box of honey, which is 40 pounds. Um, I wanted to talk about the sort of drones and females. Good question though. Um, so basically, where was I talking about that? What was I talking about? See, this is why I like doing edited videos because I can stop and collect my thoughts and whatnot. I think what I was talking about was as far as drones and females go. Females do all of the work. So they do they and there's different stages that they go through, different jobs that they have. So stages are, and it might be getting the order mixed up here, but basically nursing bees, where they're helping the other, they're attending to the brood and helping those young bees hatch out. Then there are guard bees, and those are the bees that hang around the front of the hive, and those are the ones we would have seen coming out today and checking me out and buzzing me away, right? And they hang around at the entrance, usually in the fall, and they check each bee that comes in. We send out some pheromones, and we'll ball up, and we're going to remove this bee. They're very, very efficient as far as protecting their colonies when they're healthy. Um, so the guard bees. Then there's of course the foraging bees, and those are the bees who go out and they're going out for pollen. They usually go out at a very specific time of the day to collect this specific pollen that might be coming out just in like mid-afternoon. Um, Incredibly intelligent creatures. But yeah, 6-week lifespan. The drones, on the other hand, the males, they literally do nothing. They have no their only purpose in bee life is to for a chance to mate with a queen from another hive. That's the only thing they do. They don't forage. They don't do any protecting in the hives. They don't even sometimes feed themselves. The females actually have to feed these little dudes. Um, so that there's, I was gonna make a joke, but maybe that's your typical male. It might be some typical males. But yeah, that's their only role. And what they do is they go out, they will fly a little bit further than their own queen would fly. And they figure out where they have these little congregation places where there'll be like a massive drones, and queens from other areas will fly through and mate with these drones and then come back to their colonies and be able to lay eggs for for the next 2 to 5 years. I'm gonna say 2 years because that's the reality in today's world of beekeeping. So there's a little bit lesson on bees. You weren't asking for one, but that's what I know and love. And I'll have to check this stream afterwards to see if the audio came through and everything was working. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this solar panel. I've had this solar panel kit for a couple of weeks now. It's a Zopower panel kit. If you'd like to look it up, it's a 450-watt kit. I believe it's N series. I could be getting that mixed up, but it's a shade tolerant panel kit. Um, and I'm basically standing around waiting for some sun. So hopefully we'll see some in the next hour, and I'll be able to get it out, do a real good test, and be able to share that with you guys for the next video. Happy Sunday. I apologize. I haven't had a couple of, edited videos out in the last couple of weeks, but it's busy. It's spring and it's either been snowing or raining. So, what can I say? Okay, quick check in the comments here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to read them all. Does the local floral nectar availability affect the type of honey you get? Yes. Is your honey different than the honey somewhere? Absolutely. Bees will forage in about a 3-kilometer radius, 3 to 5 kilometers. In American math, less than that. um, and absolutely, I don't want to brag, but I will a little bit here. I'm bragging about the bees, not about the beekeeper at all. Um, my my honey has won competitions, um, and competitions in my proudest moment for my bees was when I won a competition with a local beekeeper guild, and the vote was all by beekeepers, and there was something like 50 different types of honey, and my honey, the bees' honey. I never want to claim ownership over the bees' honey. I just steal it from them. Uh, it won the best tasting honey in that competition. It is a very, very unique little ecosystem where the property is here. So we have a really nice mix of wildflowers. Um, we have maples that they will make their propolis from, and some of that will get into the honey as well in early spring. Lots of clover, different types of clover out here. Um, it's a really beautiful tasting honey, and honestly, I've not tasted honey from anybody else. I'm not saying mine is the best, although other people did. It's a very, very unique flavor, and it does change depending on the season. Depends on if we have a really rainy season, we might have more of one type of plant. If it's drier, we may have something else. So so it does depend. It shifts around a little bit. The late fall honey I really like collecting because it's a darker, sort of more of an amber honey, and I really love that taste of that honey. Okay, I think I'm running out of battery and out of juice, and oh, audio fine, good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Once again, I'll have a look at this, when I'm done, or maybe tomorrow, just to check. I did forget my mic, so maybe that's actually a good thing that the sun isn't shining today, or the audio might have been crappy in the next video. Um, Go bees. That's all I'm going to say. And happy off-gridding. Thanks for hanging out with me, and maybe we'll do this a little bit more often through the summer. This is not going to replace my edited videos, but it's kind of fun to do this kind of thing. And I love actually talking about bees and sharing my bee stuff. So cheers, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Small little group today, and appreciate you being with me. Okay, cheers. See if I can figure out how to turn this off. You might just see me um, squinting into the camera for a minute, or not. I think I found it. Happy off.